All right, welcome back to this sweet Science of Fighting Underground. Uh, we have another breakdown here. It's going to be Gabriel Sousa versus, I'm just going to say the first name, Seilkhan. So this is going to be, I believe, the fourth match in this tournament, the Champions League tournament. And yeah, so I think the first three matches were won by the Modelful team. So I believe Battle Force has to win this next round, or it's pretty much over. So let's see how this goes here. And if you haven't yet, click on the link in the description where you can get access to all the strength and conditioning programs. You can also submit footage to be broken down. So let's get started here. This should be pretty fast paced. These guys, not heavyweights. So hand fighting, snap down. Over time. So just, okay, so he pull guard. So we have a guard pull. So he set to guard, went to his back. Okay, so we're having more of this kind of not really engaging, kind of in and out, in and out. And again, I don't know. My opinion of this is, well, it's not. I wouldn't say it's wrong to do. I just feel that it's. You certainly don't want to go in just kind of blindly go into someone's guard. I mean, that's quite obvious. But this kind of not engaging can also not be a good thing because the person on bottom can start to wrestle up and potentially have entry points from wrestling up. And it's also, it's I'm not really sure. You're spending a lot of energy doing this. I understand you wanting to go in on, certain timing and going in on, when you're ready. But I don't know. I just see a lot of this in these tournaments, and I'm not sure if I really necessarily agree with agree with the strategy as much as maybe others would. So it looks like he smacked him in the face there. Bit of a okay. They're gonna say, okay, calm down. All right, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, let's start again. All right, so they're gonna go again. So starting again in seated guard. Okay, so he goes to the knees here. He's backing away, backing away, backing away. I just want to point this out too. The reason why you don't go forward, especially with your knees here, is that these guys are very good. The guard players, they're going to be very good at overcommitting you and pulling you, stealing your hips basically, and he's starting to enter into leg attacks. So it has to be very, the person on top that's passing has to be very careful not to get into these leg entanglements because it can be easily done by the person on bottom if they get too overly aggressive. So it's interesting to watch because they're trying to be aggressive, it seems, but they can't really go full aggressive until they actually achieve their angle and achieve their entry point that they actually want. So that's why there's kind of this in and out, in and out, in and out. So just an observation there. So we kind of went through, but notice how the legs are always going to be way back here. You're always going to see the hips really low, feet far behind, leaning in with the hands there and having this distance right here, okay? Until the person on top finds an entry point. And again, I don't think this is a terrible strategy. It's not quite engaging. It's right in between. See, push away, get your legs back, push away. Person on bottom has to keep butt scooting and trying to get connection. Pushing on the face. See, this makes it very difficult. The person on bottom has to get connection. I'd say this all the time. The person playing guard, especially in no-gi, because in no-gi it's more difficult to get connection. The person on bottom actually, he needs to get his feet. You need to get hooks in here or some sort of connection with the legs. His hands need to grab to get some sort of connection with the person's legs. Hand to hand is fine, but he really needs leg connection here. That's really how he's going to start to actually play a guard. Okay, so it's just not engaging. Okay, we're trying to shoot in underneath to get to a guard. Failed to get connection. it is surprisingly difficult for somebody who just doesn't want to engage, to play a guard. And essentially, that makes sense. I mean, the guard is actually originally, it's for someone to be aggressive where they put you on your back and now you have to play a guard. We didn't see too much like just sitting to guard. And, you didn't see a lot of, back in the old days, like just kind of sitting to guard. I mean, I guess you did, but, there was a different strategy. Usually it was like you put somebody on their back and now they're in guard and now they have to use the guard to do what they got to do. So this is, it's just a different strategy here. So now there's some connection. So you notice now that Gabriel's hands are getting around the legs here. Now it's gonna be very difficult for Seilkhan. Seilkhan, I don't know. Seilkhan had to disconnect here. Not impossible, obviously. It is no gis, but see, there you go. So he just pulled away. So this can be kind of frustrating for the person on bottom, but again, it's a good strategy. I mean, he has to get connection. Okay, I do like that. The person on top here, Seilkhan is actually getting his right hand here to post on the hip to deny the top arm. The top arm and the top leg are always going to be the resetting, the tools to reset your guard and to deny the pass. So if you can wedge his hand in there, possibly time it right. There was a quick arm drag to the guard. That was kind of strange. It looked like he looked away for a second there. I just want to look for that for a second. Looks like he got distracted. This is kind of a weird, kind of slow thing that just happened here. Okay, so he pulls away here and it looks like he got distracted and kind of looked to the side. Then it was like a weird arm drag, and then he ended up on bottom. Watch this. So I was like, okay, we're gonna engage here. So look, see, John looks to the right here. So he looks to the right, got distracted, went into an arm drag. But into that arm drag, he turns the corner here. This is a classic move. When somebody arms drags you, you can actually go kind of limp and arm drag them back and get to their back. This is a technique I teach quite often, actually from the guard. So, but he did it from the top. And now he climbs to get back on top. But this gives an opportunity for Gabriel to actually engage in a guard here. But he sweeps and gets back on top. It's a very strange, that was a very strange interaction. Okay, so, we're trying to get into like a bit of get a hold of the legs here. He's going inverted, trying to get into maybe a possible K-guard, backside 50-50 entry, but, the controller right here, Gabriel's controlling his leg. And let's just look at the difference for the person on the Gabriel actually engaging and passing the guard and see if he can actually, if he actually does engage to pass the guard. Let's say you got 2 points for sweeping too. So notice the difference here in passing, right? This is a totally different way of passing. All right, just going into the guard there, pressing through, confident. So here, right here, Seilkhan got to full guard and actually has a bit of an angle here, but we're going to stand up and get rid of that full guard. Looks like Gabriel's going to try to stand up and kind of shake him off a little bit. Oh, this is interesting here. This is like this grip right here in the cross legs is something you typically see like in a TP triangle. When actually a person's in a triangle, you can actually do the TP grip. This is S grip along with your legs, and squeeze your legs together and or pinch your legs, your thighs together, and this can produce what we call a TP triangle. But this is interesting because he's actually doing it from the guard to actually hold on to the full guard as the person stands up. Typically, if you don't have this grip right here, you'll just kind of slide down the legs, and it's going to be very difficult, anyways, to hold himself up here. Maybe spending too much energy, especially when Gabriel starts to maybe press on the face here, which he should start to frame on the face a little bit. There we go. Now that's going to make it very uncomfortable. I don't know if they can slam here, but he's going to bring him over to his corner. And they're talking him through it to what he should do. All right, so still holding on here. And looks like he chose to go into a bit of looks like he was going for an underhook there for a second. He should be framing on the face. That's what I was going to say. He needs to just frame it on the face, get him down. Now that he's down, he's going to go for the dummy sweep. It's pretty easy to get around the dummy sweep just by changing your angle there with your legs, and then the guard opens. So a lot of energy was spent there to hold himself up in the guard. He's actually doing a good job inverting here. Pretty flexible. But I just want to take a look at the way Gabriel's passing versus the way, Seilkhan was actually passing. This is Very different. You can see controlling of the feet, pinning the feet down to the ground, trying to get upper body connection, or at least control the lower body to actually get around the legs, but actually engaging the guard. Nothing crazy. You don't have to be all crazy about it and cartwheel, like a Rotolo's and like cartwheel over and, get all manic about it. I mean, you can actually, pass the guard just by controlling the legs and using angles and turning the person. And it's just technique. It's a little bit of a De La Hiva play here. Some De La Hiva play. And, Gabriel's actually trying to directly address the De La Hiva grip. I'm starting to see this a lot more in like high level tournaments when you start seeing guys play De La Hiva or reverse De La Hivas. Now they're actually directly addressing the grips, the hand that's grabbing the foot. That grip is being directly addressed now. It used to not be necessarily quite directly addressed as it is now. It used to be indirectly addressing the grip by doing other moves to address it. But now there's a direct route, which is literally just grabbing the hand and ripping the hand off of your leg so that you can move. And this seems to be, I mean, it's I do it, so it works for me. So and it works for these guys too. So that was a good sweep. He went underhook and got an underhook on the leg here. Put his left foot on the hip to push him over. So basically like a tripod sweep. See if he gets up. So he gets up. And he has a connection with both legs here. We'll see if he can, Gabriel here can sneak his legs out, kind of twinkle toe out. There he goes. He twinkle toes out, ends back on top. And it's really interesting that Seilkhan is playing guard. It didn't seem like he would be a big guard player. But he's actually, his guard's very good. He's not getting past as easy. And it's actually, there's K guard right there. So there's an underhook on the leg, classic K guard, foot on the hip, hook, laces on the hip there, his knees facing down to the ground. Now you have to watch out for that outside left leg. It's either going to swing through the space here or it's going to swing around to try to swing around. So we're probably going to see Gabriel actually control that outside leg, the left leg of Seilkhan here. See that? So you can see that left leg right there, both hands actually controlling it. Really, he just needs his right hand technically, but I mean, you just want to make sure both legs controlling that leg. If that leg gets free, this is where K-guard can really start to cause problems. As long as you manage this leg out here, you have time. And you can see right here, his foot's leaving the ground. He's pulling his leg out. Seilkhan's losing his grip around the leg. And now a pass can start to happen because he's trying to close off this distance. Gabriel wants to put his head, close this distance from here, from his head to the hips right here. If he can close off that distance, it's going to close out, block out the top left leg here for the K guard. See, he's diving into that space. And instead of him getting that position, Seilkhan on the bottom just decided to let go and opt to go for just like an open guard. Going into a De La Hiva, a bit of a loose half guard here, maybe a quarter half with the hook around the leg here. So underhook. So looking into a bit of an X guard entry here. He's got an underhook on this leg. The legs are trying to get attached. This leg would need to come out right here or get a hook on the outside or the inside to go into X guard or reverse X. But that hasn't been done yet, so we'll see what happens here. Since it did not happen, X guard. If that was an X guard, that little spin around would not have happened. But timing and all this is obviously an issue. But there was no X guard, obviously. Reverse X wouldn't have helped him there either, but X guard could have stopped that spin around. If he didn't get that grip, Seilkhan from the bottom could have started to stand up, use his legs to kick Gabriel's legs away and start to stand up with that leg. But the timing just wasn't there. So there is a pass. He swings over to the side to the pass. Now he's in a north-south position. His head now is connected to the hip, so it's going to be very difficult for these legs to get over. Now, Seilkhan is actually flexible, seems to be pretty flexible. So his feet could try to start to wedge in through, obviously to a classic kind of north-south escape, kind of old school. Really just works for flexible guys. If you're not flexible, this doesn't work. Of course, if you're wearing a gi, you can stick your legs in the belt. I think that's pretty old technique, and I don't even know if people still do that, but it is possible. So we'll see here if this is what happens. So there's a north-south. Trying to throw his legs over to get into that position, but you can see the head here is what really stops that from happening. Anytime you get into a north-south position like this, and the hands, you see the hands are posted on the hips. So John's hands are posted on the hips. This is great. He's creating space here so that he can weave his legs in. It's really Gabriel's head here that's going to be tripoding on his hips that's going to stop this from actually happening. Turn the corner. That's good. So as John turned, it's kind of spun, and Gabriel had to lose the position. And right there, so John is his hands got him out. He was able to create enough space with his hands on his hips. They were fully extended, and it was just too much space. Again, going for the underhook right here again. A little bit of half guard, underhook, kind of this lazy half position. Trying to get connections, trying to steal the hips. So Gabriel's trying to go up for a crossface, but now the knee has hit the chest. So John has done a really good job of using his grip to get the knee to the chest, and he has a hook on this leg, still has a half guard on this leg. Gabriel's going to have to watch for that over Seilkhan's left leg. He's going to have to watch out for that. Okay, so now there's a reap position. So now we're entering into leg lock. So we'll see if there's a Z lock or a I call it a sambo knot position, or you can call it all kinds of things. Outside Ashi reap position. So I've heard it called all kinds of different things. But essentially, he's just reaping the leg from the outside. Very dangerous position if he gets his leg weaved all the way through. So he didn't get the weave all the way through, and Gabriel's opting to do a counter attack here. Now you be careful because Aokis and things are very dangerous right here. Especially if Seilkhan gets too comfortable with his leg in the armpit here. We've been seeing a rise of ankle locks lately. People just kind of really pulling off ankle locks. There's a reason for that. There's been a lot of technique there's been a few little tweaks here and there for the ankle lock that has actually made it pretty effective. And I think it's an antidote to a lot of the new stuff that's happening right now. Just a basic ankle lock can actually can do a lot of damage. So, and that happens, over the years. You'll see techniques kind of go away, then come back because they work again because the game has changed. Good. So he's still trying to drive in. And really, just take a look at the passing difference here, like the difference in passing. All right. So really diving into the guard here, putting that pressure in, a lot of pressure passing. He's okay with staying in the half guard here. He's just trying to get upper body connection, get past that top leg. Now there's a pin. You can see the left pin on the leg here. Let's see if it's a bit of a headquarters. Okay, so now we're scooping into a bit of this. This is still technically De La Riva guard, but I believe this is, we call this a mantis guard. So there is a mantis guard, which is essentially just a De La Riva, but you do an underhook here with your right arm instead of just grabbing the calf or your opponent's calf or grabbing their heel or their Achilles. You actually underhook the leg. It's going to go to what they call a mantis guard. You can go inverted from there. He kind of abandons that position and goes back to the regular De La Riva grip. And he abandons that, and now he's switching to reverse De La Riva grip. Now his left set leg to the inside. He's attacking the inside position. So now we're in reverse De La Riva. We're going to invert to the Kiss of the Dragon. Now we're on the back side. So we're on the back side from the Kiss of the Dragon. And I believe that is time for the first round. So they will do a second round. And it looks like this is going to go full. It's going to go full. They have 1 minute of rest. Full 3 rounds. Okay, so there's a bit of recap here. All right, so we're going to start again here. So sat to guard, slaps him in the head. That was interesting. Just kind of slaps him in the head. Okay, a bit of an arm drag connection here. That arm drag is very useful. You're seeing a lot more of that arm drag from half guard. I don't know what that was. Maybe he's going to try to jump his legs over. Okay, so now we're seeing a little more active passing. Now he's kind of controlling the feet here. Controlling the feet, stepping actually into the guard and trying to put a little more pressure in. Disconnecting again. Head to head. to inversion, reset the guard. I'm really surprised that Gabriel's not wrestling up from here since he's getting, every once in a while he get connection with an arm drag or connection with one of the legs. If he just drive forward and sit up, he could probably get into a bit of a wrestling, or maybe he just doesn't want to wrestle. He's comfortable playing guard. A little hand fighting. Nice. Back on his back or supine. Going inverted. Inverting to reset. To an arm drag to try to grab a leg to go forward. I mean, never underestimate disconnecting. Like, just you start to engage and disconnect. Start to engage, disconnect. This is a very frustrating thing, even for advanced guys. I mean, you see this all the time. I talk about this all the time. You see it at the highest levels. I've seen it. Guys, I never wouldn't expect to do it, but it is effective. It's not. Sometimes it's not fun to watch. Especially if they do it for 10 minutes. It's not fun to watch. I'm not. This is great, but I've seen guys do it for 10 minutes and just nothing happens, and everybody's booing and everything. So, but yeah. So there we go. Okay, so now they're double seated now. He doesn't want to play guard. They want to play double guard. What's happening here? Oh, is there a warning? Oh, stalling. Okay, so they're both called for stalling. Neither wants to play. Neither wants to pass. They want to play guard. I mean, I must say they both seem very, very comfortable with the guard. Both seem to be very skilled with their guard. Going to put in that pressure passing. Trying to get that connection. Controlling the legs. Oh, spun over. That was great. So he controlled, put his right hand on the leg here, switched his hips, and dropped his hips over to the side to get past the legs. Now he takes his left hand to block the hip here so that the shrimping, he can't shrimp anymore this direction. He'll either have to try to go belly down and go to turtle here, or he could go to running man and go the opposite direction. Either way, it's going to be a battle to get his guard back. There we go. Now it switches. Now it's turtle. He went to turtle. Now we may see a back attack. We'll see how he deals with this. Yep. Okay, so now we have a hook around the arm. The problem now is this is a great position. If Gabriel can get his right foot right here out, then he's in big trouble. Seilkhan's going to be in very big trouble here. But Gabriel still doesn't have the second hook in the right leg here. So still not a problem. You seem to manage that position. Slide. Yep, there you go. I was going to say slide his back to the mat. He's going to set a different position. He's going to put himself in a crucifix, but I would say the crucifix technically would be easier to manage. Not all the time, but it would be a bit easier to manage instead of just a full-on two hooks with one of your arms trapped. That's pretty much impending doom. And right there you can see him starting to slip out, switch to an arm bar, looking to go to switch to a triangle. Got back on top to a Kimura grip. It appears that he has a Kimura grip, but now, Seilkhan was able to recover his guard. That was a good escape. Back into a K guard position. So now you can see the K guard is being played here. Switching from K guard, frames, manage distance. Now we have a reverse de la Riva position here. Leg is hooked. Top leg is managing distance here. Left leg is managing distance. Right leg is staying for connection, denying the Gabriel's right knee to hit the floor, which is what he needs to actually pass the guard. And then we're playing some hand fighting, controlling posture, and just managing distance. So all 4 points of connection for the person in guard, which is great. Gabriel's doing a good job of keeping pressure forward, trying to control the feet. Always controlling the feet, not allowing the hooks to do what they need to do. The hooks, the person playing the guard, the hooks are what's so important here. The guard, the legs. The legs are going to be, the hands are great. They can pull and push and everything, but it's the legs that if you can control the legs for the person playing guard, then it's going to be very difficult for the person playing guard to produce anything, any kind of submission or sweep or anything. They need their legs, so they need their feet. So controlling the feet, see both hands on the feet. Gabriel has both hands Controlling that outside leg. This is always the threat. The outside leg is always going to be the threat in these in guards, typical guards. It's always going to be the outside leg and the outside arm. Again, he has to be watch out here for the false reap position. You're going to see if Seilkhan's left leg starts to cross over in front of Gabriel's hip here, this grip right here is a clear sign that he may possibly want to go into a false reap position into a honey hole. Or 411, whatever you want to call it. That bottom leg was doing a good job of really framing out here on Gabriel's hip. But Gabriel now has control of it. Now the false reap has actually happened. The leg is crossed over to the front. He has the hook on the inside. So now we are technically in false reap position. So Gabriel really should watch his balance here, which I'm sure he will, and make sure that Seilkhan can't go inverted here. Seilkhan wants to really go inverted in this position. He needs to go knees down. He's pulling his reaping leg out, which is interesting. He's pulling his left leg out. Controlling the posture. So he's trying to get connection. Gabriel's trying to get connection with the head. And this makes sense. You always want to try to get upper body connection. If you can get upper body connection, you can pass, right? See, if you get chest to chest, you can pass, not worry too much about the legs, or you control the legs to actually pass. If you cannot establish upper body connection. Good pressure pass. You can always see that. You can always see the top leg here. Just it's always pummeling back in, and the hands are always both hands on the for the person playing guard for both guys. Both the hands are always gauging distance, framing out. There goes into the false reap again. He's got a De La Riva grip here. His left leg wants to cross over because his left arm is hooking through the Gabriel's knee. Now he's using the left hand as a frame because he's committed to this reverse De La Riva position. He's going to try to do the Kiss of the Dragon again. But as you can see here, Gabriel has stopped the Kiss of the Dragon by putting a frame or a post. He's posted his arm here just like if he was going to try to stop a shrimp from side control. He's actually blocked his head from going underneath here, Sanji's head, or Seilkhan's. Okay, still a reverse De La Riva position. Controlling the top leg. Okay, so now we're looking for an underhook. So we got a double underhook here. He may switch to butterfly position now. Now that he has two double underhooks. There's the double. But there they are. So two hooks here in the inside. We'll see if he can produce a butterfly sweep from here. It's actually pretty tough to do at this level, but he can certainly start to stand up. It's gonna be if he can get his legs underneath him, he'll start to stand up. The guys now are so good at controlling this position by saying kind of tripod or sinking their hips back and shifting their hips or standing up. This can stop that butterfly sweep if you have good balance. So he kind of drops to the side here, kind of keeps his leg kind of light, using his hands to frame out. Wedge between the two of them, going to his feet. Now his left arm's on the inside now. Gonna frame on the face a little bit, put a little pressure in. Now the head is framed in. Okay, so now they have to concede to the guard. And again, he goes to this like TP control here. Again, if the arm was in here, it'd be a TP triangle. But he goes to this, I just call it the TP control. Okay, so a lot of guard play. All right, so they have another minute break. It's going to be a long match. I'm going to fast forward a bit. All right, so they're coming back. This is actually a really good match, very technical. Good guard play. All right, so maybe they'll wrestle a little bit, or they'll pull a double guard. All right. Oh well, that was good. Roll through. Yep, take the back, roll through, blocking the step over, stocking the back. Now he's stepping over to an arm bar. Looks like he has a pretty strong arm bar position here. Jumps over top, Wow. Scrambles out to get on top. Switches to a regular armbar position. This is pretty tight. Knee in the face. Good. Wow, that was very impressive. Wow, that was good. I couldn't even keep up with it, all the transitions. Well, crazy escape. That was phenomenal. Man, that was really good. Taking a shot, kind of a double. Okay, now they're going to wrestle a little bit. Now they want to wrestle. Okay. I think because somebody has to score a point, I believe. It's going to go to judges. So now it's getting interesting now. Now there's a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of guard play, a little escapes. Okay, guard pull. And I'm never a big fan of this right here. I hate when people try to entangle our fingers up. I just don't like that. I mean, I get the strategy. Always makes me nervous. All right, so we're picking the legs up. Gonna get him on his back. Again, top arm, top leg are going to be the issue. So he needs to keep that right arm framing. Right leg, he needs to stay active to try to pummel back in to reset guard. And Gabriel needs to control the feet, start to try to pass, start to get an entry point. Now he has an entry point, but he's sitting into reverse de la Riva position. There's reverse de la Riva. Punches the arm out of the way. This is a very common thing we start to see now is when the person frames that top arm, you'll see them punch that arm out of the way. This is getting more and more popular. Not that it wasn't used before. I'm just seeing it used a lot more in the high level. So now we have chest-to-chest connection. So he still stuck in a half guard, but it's different now. We got a cross face and a chest-chest connection. Seilkhan he's gonna try to fish for some underhooks. It looks like here, his right arm needs to get to an underhook. Gabriel's really putting that pressure on. That left shoulder really driving in. That left hip really dropping to the side. Okay. So he has an underhook on this side. He would like to have two underhooks. That would be nice, but this will work. This is going to end up in a mount position if he's not careful. So still driving through that half guard. He's keeping chest-to-chest connection. Really, really utilizing this underhook. Stay connected with the chest. Fighting for the leg position. Well, very good. Seilkhan got his guard back because of the underhooks. Switching to de la Riva, reverse de la Riva again. Does reverse de la Riva. Trying to stay connected with that leg. Hand fighting, looking to go possibly inverted. Kicking him over. Really using that left leg to kind of get Gabriel off balance here. Gabriel's really stepping high over here to try to free that leg. Try to push that pass. Oh, good. He tried to stand up and he almost got him in a head and arm. But Seilkhan actually sits back to his suspected guard to get around this. Well, now we're wrestling up to a single. Brings him back down to the ground. I don't think they'll that was a takedown, I don't think. Going to a pass again, the top leg and the top arm framing, the top leg pummeling back in. It's going to reset the guard. Framing, lots of frames. The shoulder, like tripoding on the shoulder, is so important for guard retention. Trying to get to that inside position. As long as Seilkhan keeps his knees and his elbows tight here in this like kind of diamond idea, it's gonna be, Gabriel really wants to get his head in this inside position here. Everything is about inside position. Go off the mats. We got a minute 18 left. Okay, goes back in double underhooks. A lot of the same guard play. Controlling the top leg. Passed. Not quite passed. Okay, got his guard back, and he's got both legs trapped here. Does have the arm high here. That's good. He has the elbow high, trapped high here, where now Seilkhan has to get to his side. Now there's a quarter guard type of position here. Running kind of a quarter mount. Switching it back to a half guard. More guard play here with reverse de la Hiva with a false reap. So reverse de la Hiva set up with a false reap and try to throw that left leg on the inside, but it got kicked out by Gabriel. Pummeled his hand back in. Rash guard got caught up in the mix there. And there's the false reap position, but he needs that left leg. There it is. That left leg comes through. And now he's going to go inverted. So see, he's going inverted. He's going to get into a honey hole position from the backside possibly. Gabriel actually sits back on top of the leg, which is great. Kind of vert again, trying to get to that reaping position. Get into a leg lock. It looks like he's almost there. Oh, nice, and it's time. So at the very, very last few seconds, the false reap position was actually working. So we'll see who this goes to. Very long match, but very good. Oh, he's tired. I mean, I don't know who they're going to give it to. Based on what I can see, I mean, it's pretty tough. Yeah, it'd be a tough call for me. I mean, I'd probably give it to Gabriel, just because it seemed like he was really engaging more. But yeah, it's not super clear. Oh, there we go. Even he was like, "What?" So he won. Good. So that was I don't think they have to do another match here. That's it. Or maybe they do. Or they go on to the next. Is it a different team? So we'll find out what the next one is. But I think they don't have to go with this team anymore. Maybe they do actually finish it out. I thought that they won, 4 in a row, that it's over, but maybe not. But anyways, we'll find out. So that was a good match between these two guys. Yeah. So yeah, what can you say? A lot of good guard play. There's a lot of good guard study here, for guard retention, reverse de la Hivas, half guard framing. I mean, it's all good stuff. So from both guys. So yeah, that was a good one. We'll do another one here shortly. All right, thanks.